So anyway, that made me decide I wasn't going to do it anymore. I'd done enough of them. I'm waiting for I want a rookie to come back and beat me. That'd be good.
So first, how did you get started in this? Like, where did the off-road love come from?
Oh man, we got to go back in
Way
time.
back.
Yeah, like almost when the cars were coming out from the horses is what it feels like. No, so I'm a Jeep girl. I came in through the Broncos were not a thing when I was getting into the Jeep world, and I started in about 2006.
Okay.
I'd had a Jeep earlier than that when I lived in Indiana. I got when the first TJs came out, the very first ones, I think it was 97, was the first year of the TJ model of Jeep Wranglers, and I wanted one. I probably saw a commercial or whatever, like you did. I'm like, I want one, and I got it, but there was really no place to off-road. It was really, where I was at in Indiana, there was no place really accessible. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to do it, I didn't even know how to reach out to clubs. Because 2005, I moved out west, and I moved to Tucson, Arizona. And then shortly later, I got an opportunity to take my nursing. I'm a registered nurse by background. I worked in the operating room. So I got an opportunity to go into the medical device industry. So I went to a company called Megadyne Medical, and they gave me a marketing job. I had 0 days of marketing. I didn't know what marketing really was, but we moved from Tucson, Arizona, moved up to Draper, Utah, which gave me about a 3-hour drive to Moab, which is the mecca for me, was Moab. And so now I was able to start meeting people who really off-roaded. I was able to start learning how to build my Jeep, drive my Jeep, and take care of my Jeep. And I felt as a woman going into what was it's still male-dominated, but it was very male-dominated in the early 2000s. Having a woman, more extreme off-roader was pretty rare.
Want to come over?
This guy helps feed my insanity. So yeah, he is my main support for the rally too. He helps prep the vehicles and do all of that. So the first Rebelle Rally happened in 2016. And everybody was a rookie.
that was pretty cool. Everyone started at the same spot.
Yeah, and I think that year they had like maybe 32 teams or something like that had signed up for it. But I met a gal, and I'd off-roaded with her a little bit, and we were on this Facebook page called Jeep Girls Only. And I realized there was maybe like 4 girls that actually off-roaded their Jeeps, and we kind of made a pact, and she actually came out from New York to Moab, and we did some trails together. And so when the rally started advertising on Facebook, I said, I'm in. And she saw it and she called, she says, how about do it together? I said, that's like, so we were the 4th team to sign up for it. And some of the teams already knew Emily and signed up, but we signed up like the first or second day that we found it advertised on Facebook. So we were in right at the beginning, and
from the ground up.
And I had no idea. And I was the navigator. I had absolutely no idea about how I was going to do this. At that time they gave we had a free training. We went over to Sparks, Nevada, and did a little free training there, and I learned a little bit. And then we showed up, and we ended up in 5th place. I learned a lot on the fly. Yeah. So we loved it and decided to go back again the next year, and that's how I ended up getting 4th place. And this is where I think you started the question, is like the gateway of how I got into the rally. So that just kind of started, and now I've done probably, what do I say? I've done my first 2 rallies now, 2016 and 2017. So 5th and 4th.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually, last day in Glamis, we had a really good chance to be in the top 10. We weren't going to podium, but I messed up. We clicked on these old gins, right? They're loud. I ended up clicking on the wrong blue.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And you have to do them in order, right? Yeah. So if you click one out of order, that becomes, you have to go then to the next one. So I missed the whole south end of the course. There was like 6 checkpoints or something that was. And actually, the next checkpoint didn't open for like an hour or something, so we just had to sit there and wait for a checkpoint to open.
You probably would have got first at that point.
It was really it was really disheartening. So anyway, that made me decide I wasn't going to do it anymore. I'd done enough of them. I've done enough rallies, and so I'm good with that. And then Ford called.
Ford said, "You're not done yet."
Actually, Emily called and said, Ford is looking to put some teams into the rally, and I want to put your name forward as a driver.
Nice.
Would you be willing to do that? So I talked to Brian. Brian's like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So let's see what happens. And so Ford, the marketing person at the time, Jovina, she called and we had a little chat, and she said, yeah, I think Emily recommends you as a driver, so I think we're going to put you in one of the Broncos. And I was like,
awesome.
Wow, a Bronco, that sounds really cool. So they like fly me out to Detroit, and we're at the Woodward
awesome.
Dream Cruise, and they're doing the reveal of the car, and they give us the car, and they said, so we're gonna have you in the Bronco Sport.
Yep.
And so I look at the car, and I'm like,
she calls me.
I'm gonna do the Rebelle Rally in this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was underwhelmed. I was like, oh no, I wanted that. I wanted the big Bronco, not the little Bronco.
Big difference.
So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be grateful for this opportunity. I am not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah. I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna go with it, and we're gonna do the best that we can. And we got into the class in 2021, and we won. We won the class. The Sport has never lost. It made its debut in 2020,
really?
So I'm really proud of the car. It made its debut in 2020, and Shelby Hall drove it that first year.
Yeah, I know Shelby. Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, so she drove it the first year, won, and then in 2021 she moved to the big Bronco, and I took her spot in the X-Cross. And so I've won 21, 22, 23. But in 2019 I got second place in the four-wheel. So I've podiumed in both classes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. Like, because one, no one's winning multiple times and then in a row, and like, it's just. Well,
Nina and Tara Lynn. Tara Lynn is she's. I wish I could keep her. I keep trying to like, Tara Lynn, come back, but because we had a great time.
Yeah.
She's an awesome person, and I love having her on course. And
yeah. So one thing is like, well, people may not know this, but like, you were definitely on my like list of like people I have to meet. I told you that earlier, and like, people don't know this. You're very humble, even though like you have like this whole background of like, you're a big deal, and but you don't act like a big deal because you're like always serving other people. I noticed you served a lot of the ladies here while they're practicing, and you're just like, hey, let me do this. Like, you need help. Like, we have a saying with our company is character over talent. So we don't care how built up your rig is or how nice it is. Like, we're focused on the person. Like, we don't need like the egos and stuff. And so I've heard nothing but good stuff about you. And
thank you.
I've said it to you multiple times, but like, seriously, like, you were on the bucket list of like, gotta meet her. And
well, here's what I think. Here's the way I look at it. I came into this, like I said, going back in time, as a woman, a little bit daunted about coming into a hobby that I really wanted to do, and I wanted to do well, and I wanted to represent myself as a strong woman in off-roading, so that I didn't need, if I broke, I didn't need a bunch of people to come rescue me, a damsel in distress kind of thing. So I remember all those people that helped me.
Yeah.
I remember all those people who spotted me and showed me what I needed to do. And so I try to have that same pay it forward mentality. Is there's so many people that were so good to me and continue to be really good to me.
That's awesome.
And I want to do the same for other people. And so where the rally comes in is I totally remember us all being those rookies and all the mistakes that we made, and just all of the lessons learned. And what I don't want people to think about or take away from the rally is I don't want them to leave the rally defeated or disappointed or discouraged about off-roading. I want them to feel like, hey, we did this thing and it was really hard, but look at us, we're at the finish line. And so I want to encourage rookies to be prepared, and I'll answer any question. I'll ask anything, I'll tell you anything, because the secret of winning the Rebelle Rally is the time and the talent and the consistency. So a rookie, I tell people, look, you're not going to win. The rookies can't win. You don't know enough to know. Exactly. Even if I tell you all the answers, until you experience it, you don't know. So I want those rookies to be as prepared as they can. so they have a good experience. Come back and beat me. I'm waiting for
Welcomes all challenges.
I want a rookie to come back and beat me. That'd be great.
I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he sent for me. I keep the blood of the lamb as my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth.